So you're obviously into listening to podcasts, and if you're not, you're clearly lost because this is a podcast and you've taken a wrong turn on the internet somewhere. So, for all you podcast listeners out there, I'm here to inform you that you can actually be getting paid to listen to this. This is all through a fancy app called Podcoin. Download the Podcoin app and use referral code COMICS and get yourself 300 coins to get started. What do you do with these coins? Well, these coins can be used to obtain certain things like gift certificates and other valuable things that you would use in your day-to-day life. Or if you're of the more charitable sort, you could rack up these coins and give them to certain charitable organizations. And, warm your heart that way, just by doing the things that you would normally be doing anyways. And that would be listening to the Cheers to Comics podcast. So, hop on the Podcoin app, new users, code comics, and start earning immediately. Well, hello again, and welcome to the Cheers to Comics podcast. I am your host, Brian Wayne, and this is Pull List Priorities. On this segment of Pull List Priorities, I'll be going over all of the books that are coming out on the 24th of September, 2019. So, by no means will I be talking about all of the books that Diamond has on the list, but I will be talking about a good portion of them, hyping up all the new number ones and all of that good stuff. So, without further ado, I've got myself I drinking fancy beer today, Shiner. Day Quencher from what is that? Spotzel Brewery? Shiner, Texas. Alright, well this is actually, I don't know what a session ale is, but it's pretty delicious. So, any stumbling or stupidity that comes out of this podcast, you can direct all of your hate letters to Shiner, Texas, because that's who I blame it on. Let's talk about comic books. There is a bunch of stuff to get excited for, as there usually is. The indies, they're bringing it heavy this week, so we're going to start out with Valiant. This is a book I've been anticipating since the announcement of its release. We've got a Bloodshot #1 again, Tim Seeley, Brett Booth. So, Bloodshot is back with a few new thrilling tricks up his sleeve. No amount of high-octane explosions can keep Bloodshot from completing his new mission. Who is the mysterious Black Bar? And what do they want with Bloodshot? So, Bloodshot is my #1 Valiant title, easily. It's a no-brainer, I'll be picking this one up, so good on you. They also have Dr. Mirage #2 coming out from Valiant. So 2 titles this week from Valiant. Get excited. Let's talk Vault Comics. This is it's an impressive week for Vault. They're getting some money from me, that's for sure. So the first one I would like to talk about is a book that I didn't jump on, but this is the second issue. It's called Mall. And Michael Moretzi and Gary Dauberman. So what is... that cover's very intriguing. That cover's by Zach Hartong. And Andre. Andre and his mysterious companion dig deeper into Andre's frame-up and deeper into the Mall's nefarious history. Meanwhile, on the surface, factions collide. All-out war is on the horizon, but maybe that's what someone was hoping for? Okay, well, alright. Doesn't give me much, but decent. This is a book that's definitely getting my money. We've got The Plot. This is a #1. Michael Moretzi, Tim Daniel. In order to receive, first you must give. When Chase Blaine's estranged brother and sister-in-law are murdered, he becomes guardian to Mackenzie and Zach, the niece and nephew he hardly knows. Seeking stability for the children, Chase moves his newly formed family to his ancestral home in Cape Augusta, which overlooks a deep, black bogland teeming with family secrets. So, Alright, they kind of give you a little bit there, but that cover is something that really kind of plays into the potential deep horror aspect of it all. We've got someone that's kind of... got a skinny little swamp thing is what I'm seeing there. What's actually pretty awesome is there's a variant cover that is a total homage to the first appearance of Swamp Thing. And was that House of Mystery? So yeah, no, that's a pretty fucking sweet variant cover too. So I'm definitely going to be checking out at least issue 1 of The Plot. Another number 1 from Vault Comics. I know, coming hard, right? I told you. Relics of Youth, number 1. Matt Nicholas, Chad Redman, and that cover done by Skylar Patridge. So Nat Rodriguez keeps dreaming of an island. Soon, the dreams become waking visions. Alone and concerned, Nat manages to locate other teenagers across the globe who share her intense obsession with the unmapped enclave. And then, the strangest part. Every one of them wakes one morning with a mysterious tattoo. A tattoo only 6 of them can see. Now each of them knows, no matter the obstacles in the way, they must discover this unknown paradise. Ah, kind of sounds like the beginning of a Power Ranger story or something like that. Oh, look at them throwing in an Oklahoma City Thunder cap on there. Just promoting sports and whatnot. Can they do that? I don't know. Good on you. That's beautiful. Beautiful cover, that's for sure. So, yeah, those interested in another childhood gang up mystery. There you go, Relics of Youth, number 1. Resonant, number 3. So, I apparently missed number 2 because I would have talked about number 2 if I would have had number 2. But I guess when I added it to my pull list the first time, I may have only just added it. I didn't add it open-ended. So they might have just given me the first issue. So needless to say, I got to track down issue 2, but I was impressed enough with issue 1, and I've heard good things about issue 2, that I will be picking up issue 3 of Resonant. Dave and Andre and Alejandro Aragon. So Paxton finds himself captured and bound in the hold of a ship sailing to an unknown destination. A fellow captor appears to be an ally, but they must trust each other enough to survive both the trip and the horrors that await them at their journey's end. Meanwhile, conflict between Beck and Ty threatens to tear the siblings apart forever. So, yeah, Resonant fans. Bam! And believe it or not, there's still more Vault Comics to talk about. We've got Sarah and Royal Stars, number 3. John Tsui and Andre Mock. So I've heard a little bit of a hype around issue number 1. I didn't check it out. I kind of flew over my radar. How does that expression work? I don't know. After a clash with the minions of Draco, Sarah Aldebaran, good job on that one, and Antares, okay, are left scattered and separated in the land of dreams. A familiar face returns to help Sarah reunite with the stars. But is he friend or foe? I don't know. I didn't read the first issue. I have nothing to go off of. So, that's your Vault Comics coming out next week. So good on you, Vault Comics. You're bringing the thunder. Let's move on to Oni Press. Couple of familiar titles here. We've got Invader Zim number 47. Good lord. And Rick and Morty number 54. So, look at you with your Cartoon Network properties. Just killing it. Was it Invader Zim Cartoon Network or was it Nickelodeon? I think it was Cartoon Network. I don't remember. I didn't have cable back when that was around. I was broke. Let's move on to Antarctic Press. Yeah, look at that. Antarctic Press making the news. As soon as I could find it here on the previous site. Oh, it's because there's a number 1. That's what I wrote down. Scratcher, Part 1. Vegas tattoo artist Dee discovers her clients are becoming possessed by the tattoos she gave them. Her life is thrown into turmoil when she realizes her best friend Sarah has turned into a monstrous killer, seemingly controlled by her new tattoo. A guilty Dee sets out to save Sarah, but soon finds out of her depth as she faces off against forces she can barely comprehend. Well, just imagine the possibilities. Oh, and the little side boob on the cover for you pervs out there. Pervs? Is that a one? That's not a word. It is now. Look at me go, excited about comics. I will be picking this up. This actually sounds like an incredibly interesting concept. I like the cover art a lot, excluding the side boob. I mean, you could take the side boob out of it, and I would still like this cover. So, yeah, no, get you, I think we should all hop on Scratcher. You'll be hearing me talk about Scratcher, regardless of how hyped I get about it. Let's move on to some of the bigger indie publishers out there. What is going on in Image Comics? Actually, from what I've seen, I don't think there are any Image books that I am subscribed to coming out this week. So that doesn't happen very often. But nevertheless, I do not discriminate. I know there's still a lot of good titles out there that y'all are reading. So let's talk about those. Black Science number 43. I don't know what Black Science is. Oh, it's the series finale. This is the last issue. 43. Nice solid round number to end around. Cool. Get on it. Who did that? Rick Remender and Moreno Dionisio. So congratulations on a 47 issue, 43? What did I say? Yeah, 43 issue run. That's actually impressive. I'm not trying to sound snarky by any means. Criminal, number 8. I don't read Criminal. But Ed Brubaker and Jacob Phillips deserve to be given credit to. Teague Lawless is on his way to living the high life, planning the kind of score you can retire on. But only if nothing goes wrong. Well, okay. The story of the last days of series favorite Teague Lawless continues. The story of the last days of series favorite Teague Lawless continues as Brubaker and Phillips continue to deliver the best monthly comic on the market. Can't have continue twice in the same sentence. Come on, guys. Come on. Take it from a super amateur writer. Like an ultra amateur writer. Yeah, listen. That's previews, that's not them. Alright, what else? Deadly Class, number 40. I think that's isn't that, more Rick Remender. And Jordan Boyd. New story arc. Alright, so, this is important. First off, how about that Motorhead shirt on the cover? Alright, you got me. This says rock and roll. Okay, Bone Machine. Bone Machine! Part 1 of 4. Another year comes to a close. The sophomore exam draws near. Well, here's the thing. When you have just one sentence, it makes it hard to mess it up. Alright, well, that wasn't much of a description. I guess it is important to know that it is the beginning of a story arc, so anybody that... You know what? I will be picking up an Image book after all. I've got to write this down. Deadly Class. I don't know if this is the same thing that's on the Netflix or the Hulus or whatever the fuck. I don't have time to watch any of that anymore, regrettably. But I'm reading comics, so life's not all that bad. And Safe Sex number 1, SFSX, Safe Sex series premiere. Okay. Alright. Notorious kink writer Tina Horn teams up with artist Michael Dowling from Unfollow and Death Sentence for NFSX. Social thriller about sex, love, and torture that reads like Sex Criminals and Gilead crossed with... Alright, you lost me. I don't know. I don't really get into anything sexualized in comics. I mean, I think you guys have figured that out by now. Anybody that's listened to a few episodes of mine, that stuff just doesn't do it for me. So, usually loses me there. That's another reason why I'm not reading White Trees. This is part 2 of the 2-part series that Zarsky's doing. And yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Normally, I mean, I'm a big Zarsky fan, but he's clearly got a message in there that I'm not receiving. So, that's alright. Not everything's about me. Dark Horse Comics Oh, cool. Alien Rescue number 3 of 4. So I buy all of the Aliens books. I don't always read them right away or as they come out. I do like to have some rainy day books. You know, towards there are parts of certain seasons where there's not as many books released, and at this point in time, I've acclimated myself to read so many comics in a week and work so many hours in a week on the podcast. So when that season comes, as I remember it did in the past, I'm gonna have some more miniseries to catch up on, and I'm a massive lover of the Alien franchise, mainly because of H.R. Geiger. I'm not gonna lie, but I do love the movies. I love all the concept of xenomorphs in every way, shape, and form. And these covers from any of the Aliens books out there, they're fucking amazing. By the way, I cuss. I forgot to give that disclaimer. But oh yeah. So Brian Wood, Kieran McCown, and J.L. Straw on this one, and that cover by Roberto de la Torre. If this is a Virgin cover and doesn't have trade dress, that motherfucker's going on the wall. Jesus Christ, that's so good. So this takes place just directly after the last miniseries that Aliens did. I forget what it was called, but the description here is the Colonel Marines are the best at what they do, and what they do is kill bugs. Amanda Ripley takes her command deep into a nightmarish heart of darkness, a massive alien lair. You goddamn right. Come on, guys. It's Dark Horse. Good on ya. Oh, what's this? Ether Disappearance of Violet Bell. Matt Kint and David Rubin. From New York Times best-selling Mind MGMT creator. Okay, that one stumbled me for a second. Matt Kent and Black Hammer's David Rubb. And I think that's supposed to say David Rubin. Oh, way to proofread, guys. Oh man. David Rubin. Comes the third installment of this fantasy adventure that's Sherlock Holmes meets Dr. Seuss. Well, that sounds fun. Alright, cool. Write that one down too. Ether Disappearance of Violet Bell. This is a 5-part mini-series. Don't get too attached. That was terrible handwriting. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and write at the same time. I don't do that good. So yeah, no, it does sound interesting though. I mean, usually that's how someone can sell me on something that just doesn't give a description of anything. Just say this thing you love meets this thing you love, and you got me. So yeah, I like Dr. Seuss and Sherlock Holmes. Or at least the idea of Sherlock Holmes. Admittedly, I don't read a lot of Sherlock Holmes. Fight Club 3, number 9 of this 12-part maxi series by the fucking batshit crazy Chuck Palahniuk. Cameron Stewart does amazing on the arts. And this is going to be a trade negotiations discussion. For those long-time listeners, you probably tired of me repeating this every time this book has the opportunity to spew words out of my mouth. I read the first 3 issues and I was fucking lost. I was so lost because there's 3 to 5 weeks in between issues at times, and Palahniuk, he's dense. This book he went way the frick out there on, and yeah, I'm just totally lost. So it's gonna be something that I sit down and read binge like. Tommy Gun Wizards number 2. I read issue 1, and it made it to the honorable mentions that week. The idea sounded familiar. Al Capone, Elliot Ness, but with magic and switching places, like a King Arthur, Merlin type of scenario. It just, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just at that point in time I was burnt out, or I don't know. I don't want to discredit anything that I've only read 1 issue of, but I didn't feel it necessary for me to feel like I was overly attached to this title. IDW. Let's do that now. Alright. What is this? There's got to be... okay. Ragnarok Breaking of Helheim. Number 2 of 6. Walter Simonson. Thor begins his descent into the kingdom of the dead, but finds the way blocked by a titanic hull rising before him on the rim of Helheim. Guarded by both the living and the dead, and ruled by the iron hand of a would-be god, it hides beneath the deepest dungeons a secret powerful enough to shatter the very foundations of Dusklands. And I gotta say that this depiction of Thor looks like the offspring of He-Man fucks Skeletor. Just saying. Walter Simonson, good on ya. What else is coming out from IDW? Road of Bones, number 3 of 4. Wait, hold on, that's second printing. Nope, no new Road of Bones. My bad. Oh yeah, we got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That ongoing, number 98, approaching. I will be reading Turtles from here on out. It's officially on my pull list, so bam. We'll see how confused I am when I go to talk about it, or if, you know, I feel comfortable talking about it. But the fact is since this whole Jenica thing, this yellow turtle, there we go. You know, fuck it. Why not read Turtle? 100 issues. Come on. And we got a Transformers book. Transformers Galaxies. Number 1. Tyler Blazensky and Livio Romandelli. Alright, what is going on here? Cybertron, a planet of vast beauty and extraordinary cities, wasn't always so perfect. After the war against the Threefold Spark, Cybertron was decimated and new bots, the Constructicons, emerged to help rebuild it grander and more amazing than ever before. But where are these bots now? Why have they been erased from Cybertron's history? And what are they planning to do about it? Find out in Constructicons Rising, Part 1. Written by one of the founders of Vox Media, Tyler Blazensky. Oh, look at you. An all-new series set in universe exploring the many characters and ideas in the Transformers galaxy. A spotlight on the Constructicons and their ultimate destructive form, Devastator. The bold new era continues, exploring the Transformers universe beyond Cybertron. So oh man, I don't understand where these descriptions come from. This can't all be, I don't know. But you know what? I might be intrigued. I might be intrigued by that, because the last Transformers thing I tried to jump on just kind of dumped on me. And I hear that still nobody's swung at each other yet, so I'm simple-minded. I need violence. Dynamite. Chastity, number 1. Alright, I've been seeing a lot of Chastity stuff lately. Hold on. Why am I just seeing a bunch of expensive covers? Maybe it's not maybe it's just a bunch of fucking variant covers they're putting out the next week. I don't know. That's what it looks like, because they all have $50 price tags on them. Maybe I missed Chastity altogether. But I'll read the description anyways. Lee Williams, Daniel McCain, and all Clayton Crane covers. That's why they're $50 a pop. And they're virgins. Okay. Chastity Jack has been kidnapped, to the great misfortune of her kidnappers. She, along with a dozen other young women, arrive at an audition for a prestigious New York burlesque act, hoping to land a coveted spot in the popular show. When they wake up in chains on a spooky cruise ship in the middle of nowhere, they're congratulated on joining the cast. Realizing they've been drugged and kidnapped by human traffickers, Chastity Jack declines the offer. Grindhouse style. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of a Sucker Punch vibe out of that description. That was a good description. You know what? That was a good description. What else out of Dynamite? We got our Betty Page Unbound. There's always some Betty Page or something going on. We got some Death Defying Devil number 2. Nope, more Virgin covers. What the fuck is going on here with this? Why would you release the variant covers of the book that's oh man, killing me here. Warlord of Mars Attacks number 4. That's something I feel confident talking about. Jeff Parker, Dean Kotz, and yeah. Back to Barsoom. The hero returns. John Carter reunites with his Barsoom allies just as Mars attacks. Can John, Tarkus, Woola, and more defend the world they love, or will this Mars fall? No. Well, I'm a big Mars Attacks fan, and I've never actually had the opportunity to read a Mars Attacks comic. You know, if I could find the back issues for this, I'm oddly intrigued. Well, not oddly. There's nothing odd about me being intrigued by anything Mars Attacks. As a matter of fact, I want to go watch that movie right now. I'll be right back. And I'm back. So, Boom Studios. What's going on here? Oh, we've got some Angel. That's an ongoing for all you Buffy lovers. Brian Edward Hill and Gleb Melenkov. After teetering between Sunnydale and Los Angeles, Angel now knows exactly what his mission is: to make sure the Hellmouth stays sealed. He'll stop anyone who gets in his way, be it friend or foe, vampire or Slayer. So, yeah, well, Joss Whedon's name's on that cover too. I'm not a... Admittedly, I never really got into the show. I'm not a fan of the Buffy universe. I don't discredit it. I can't say it's bad because I've never really watched anything, read anything Buffy. It's just, vampires don't really do it for me. Not all the time. There's got to be a really cool twist. Oh, so all you perfuckers out there, Faithless, number 6 of 6. Brian Azzarello and Maria Levitt. The variant erotic cover for, what the fuck? Okay, so there's no description on this at all. It's just saying that the variant for this, like all other variants for Faithless, where it's usually like a chick fingering herself or something like that. Very, very lewd. Yeah, it's just, that's all it's saying, is the variant covers are going to be polybagged. So, not for the children. You know, I went to a con and I don't know why I felt bad. Big Boom Studios like, hey, I guess, I don't know. I felt bad, and I bought a comic, and I had heard that there was hype around this. I had no intentions. Yeah, well, I bought one of these books, and when I opened it up, I was like, holy fuck, that's all of it right there. That's the whole, yep, all drawn out. And then I opened it up because at this point I was intrigued. I'm not a prude. That just stuff doesn't do it for me. But I had to know what this book could be about, and really, it's just it was a whole lot of banging. Like, there was some story going on, obviously, but it was a whole lot of banging. So, for you, this is Faithless number 6, coming to an end. Lumberjanes number 66. Not a book I read, but a book popular for the children's. I like how we go from Faithless to Lumberjanes. Well, girl power, right? Shannon Waters and Kat Leia. Kanesha C. Bryant. Kanesha. Is she a rapper? The Roanoke and Zodiac alien search team up has uncovered something, or rather someone, unusual. Her name is Freya. Oh, I know that bitch. And she says she's a goddess. Well, she's the All-Mother, like Diane. Freya's friendly and outgoing and immediately super popular around camp in a way our favorite bratty ancient Greek can't stand. Alright, well, I don't read Lumberjane, so none of that means anything to me, but I know who Freya is. That's Thor's mama. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 43. This I be reading. Marguerite Bennett, Simone DeMeo. Alright, Necessary Evil continues as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers finally come face to face with the mastermind behind all of the recent problems, the evil Lord Zed. Meanwhile, the newly launched Omega Power Ranger team is stranded on an unfamiliar planet with no hope of getting home. Oh, that's what they're calling that other team. Okay, okay. See, guys, I don't comprehend anything outside of, yeah. Apparently Shattered Grid didn't register with me because I didn't understand or retain a lot of that. Nothing against the title at all. Keep in mind, I am pretty fucking stupid sometimes. So, but nevertheless, I love my Rangers, and even if they're in confusing scenarios, at least in ways that I perceive, I still like watching them punch little clay putty thingies. And by the way, the foil variants that they've been doing for these Power Ranger books, spectacular. And that wraps up Indies. Let's move on to DC. DC Comics. We got Action Comics number 1015. This is my last try at Action Comics. I said the same thing about Superman, and spoiler for the podcast coming up for episode 49, I fucking liked it a lot. So you still have me. Will Action Comics retain me? We'll find out. Brian Michael Bendis and Simon Krasinski. His art's usually enough to keep my stupid little brain intrigued. So yeah, but we've got some Naomi on the cover there. Lucio Perillo on the cover, at least a variant cover. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So Breakout Wonder Comics here. Naomi makes her Metropolis debut. So minor key. As the teen hero looks to Superman to help her navigate her unexpected new role as a hero in the DC universe. Hoping to answer the remain questions. Good job. About her origin, lineage, and greater purpose on Earth, Naomi not only gets the attention of the Man of Steel, but also Gotham City's Dark Knight detective, Batman, takes an interest in her quick rise to prominence. Alright, well, Batman. Got me there. I like Batman. I like Batman. Batgirl. Alright, Batgirl. I won't do that again. Cecil Castellucci and Carmine Di Giandomenico. So, some sounds Sicilian. After learning about The Offer from Killer Moth, Batgirl is on the case to figure out who is behind the rise of the villains in the DC universe. Meanwhile, the terrible trio has gained full control over Oracle and is forcing her to cater to their every whim. But what happens when their puppet decides to cut her strings? Could this be the end of the terrible trio? I couldn't tell you. I don't read Batgirl. Is this the Josh? Yeah. And Middleton doesn't do the variants anymore. So, I actually have quite a few recent Batgirl issues, but they're all hanging on my wall, and they're all sexy little Middleton variants. Fuck, they look good up there too. But I never read them. Batman Beyond, however, is arguably my favorite ongoing at DC. Arguably. Dan Jurgens, Rick Leonardi, and Andy Parks. Lost Days finale. Ooh, there's more. I'm liking this fucking what do they call him? False face. Yeah, I'm liking the false face shit. It's been a lot of fun. I like seeing a dickhead Bruce Wayne, playboy, billionaire fuckhead. As everything around Neo Gotham crumbles under Batman's iron fist, the fastest man alive must be the only one capable of saving Terry McGinnis and his city. But as powerful as he is, even the Flash might be no match for the Split and the mysterious false face. I think it's just Split, not the Split. Alright, well, despite the fucking description error again, that seriously, for whatever reason, I don't know what's been fucking with me so bad. Maybe it's just because there's so many. You can only take so many. That doesn't take away from the book and my excitement. I love Batman Beyond. I love Terry McGinnis. I love the way Dan Jurgens is doing it. The art is always top tier. It's always on point. Batman Curse of the White Knight, number 3 of 8. Sean Murphy. This is gonna be another save it until it's over type of thing. That's what I did with the first White Knight series, and after I read the first issue of the Curse of the White Knight, it was a no-brainer that I was just saving it all till the end. This is, it's an entirely outside of the box concept, So it's, once again, fucking stupid sometimes, and when you read so much, it's hard to retain everything. So when I binge it, it usually settles a lot better. So that's what I'll be doing with Curse of the White Knight. But I'm here to remind you, you don't need to be doing the same. Go out and get it. Batman Superman #2. I heard that they're going to be really pushing this book out. Like, the releases are all going to be way ahead of schedule. I'm going to look into that some more. This is, however, the first Joshua Williamson title that I really, really dug and was impressed by. And I'm glad that I did not give up hope. Maybe it was the fact, this wasn't me saying, okay, this is, I'm going to get this because I want to see what Joshua Williamson can do. No, this was, purely based off the premise and concept and all of that. But god damn, did this book hit hard right off the bat. That fucking Shazam spoilers. Well, it's on the cover here, so you could see it. I dig it quite a bit. I think this is going to be a 5 or 6-parter as well. But I will be talking about this one weekly as it comes out. At least that's how I feel about it now. Detective Comics already. So we're going bi-weekly on Detective Comics, huh? So this, I would imagine, is going to be a new arc. They popped up, 10 and 11 were quick little two-sided, as a lot of these mini arcs have been, two-sided Deathstroke, Bruce Wayne, stranded Paradise Island type of situation, which, by the way, I fucking love. There's a panel in that book that is still sitting as my phone wallpaper. But all right, but at the end of those books, we've gotten some Mr. Freeze tease. Just made that up. You're the Villain kicks into overdrive. Victor Freeze has only ever wanted one thing: to bring his wife Nora back to life in a healthy body. Now, with Lex Luthor's aid, Victor's wish will finally come true. Whoa. But how will Nora adjust to the new world she has missed? Well, she can ask Captain America. And how will Batman try to tear Victor's dream away from him? Well, that's fucked up, Batman. Just let the evil supervillain have his zombie wife. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Not even a little bit. Flash, number 79. Joshua Williamson. Alright, I'm not reading Flash, as, a few of my last words that I spoke not too long ago may kind of give that indication too. But I know that a lot of you motherfuckers are, so we got it's Joshua Williamson week at DC Comics, everybody. Oh, this is a big one. I love Black Label books. I buy all of them. This is one that I am one of those guys that I really do dig Harley Quinn. I know a lot of people cringe at it, but my earliest memories of a kid are my Harley Quinn and Joker bed sheets. So I don't know. I've always been a fan. Always been a fan. Batman the Animated Series. Harley was always one of my favorite characters. Always. Way over the Joker. So I'm very intrigued by this. I don't think I need to give a description. It's an $8 book, so pre-order it. Hopefully you have a pull list type of discount situation at your LCS, and maybe get this book a little cheaper. But it does look nice on a shelf, because at this point in time I do have all of my my prestige Black Label books on a bookshelf, because they've all been rereadable. Yeah, so Harleen, that ad can finally stop in your books now. Justice League Dark number 15. I keep buying it, but I don't remember the last time I read an issue. It's gonna be in my pull list. Maybe I'll be inclined to crack it open and see what's up. But I do know one thing for certain, is that this book will be getting twice my money this week, because we're gonna have some Detective Chimp on my motherfucking wall with this gosh darn Clayton Crane Detective Chimp variant cover. It is beautiful, and Detective Chimp does not get enough love. It's my favorite character in Justice League Dark by far. I love some Swamp Thing. And I think the reason why I do lean towards Detective Bobo more than Swamp Thing is because of the dynamic that the Swamp Thing and Bobo have brought together. And I think it just makes Bobo that much better. Bobo doesn't make... Well, yeah, no, Bobo makes Swamp Thing better too. It's a great team. I love it, and I love that cover. Red Hood Outlaw number 38. I'm not reading Red Hood, but some of y'all are. So get you some. Oh, guys, I haven't said this word in a while, except for it's getting delayed. That's usually the only time I've been talking about it. Shazam! Number 7. Jeff Johns is back. Dale Eaglesham, still drawn. Shazam and the Seven Magic Lands continues as the shocking new member of the Shazam family is revealed. This mystery person will send shockwaves through the entire cast. I love this book. I really do think that the sequel to the movie will be based off of these pages, if not loosely to a T, because this... I really... Jeff Johns obviously saw the movie before he started writing this comic. Or, yeah, there was clearly collaboration going on, because it is so in tune. This is my number one family DC recommendation. Yeah, it's a beautiful book. It's something for the whole family. Pick up 2 copies, one for the kids, because they're going to fuck yours up. Wonder Woman, number 79. G. Willow Wilson, Scott Eaton, Wayne Faucher. Yeah, I don't read Wonder Woman, but like I said, a lot of you are, and I don't discriminate. That's it for DC. Marvel. Wow, this one's really running on. Sorry, guys, there's a lot of good books. I got a lot of good stuff to say. Well, I don't know if the stuff I'm saying is good, but I got good stuff to talk about. Let's put it that way. You be the judge of what I'm saying is good. Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales, number 2 of 3. I'm very, very, very intrigued with this. I mean, especially based off of the pages I saw in Absolute Carnage 3, which I just recently read. That's still burned into my brain. It's so fucking good. Go read it. Yeah, no, I dig. My excitement level is pretty fucking high on that tie-in. Yeah, that's the only Absolute Carnage tie-in this week, though. We got Amazing Spider-Man number 30. This is all... Actually, I take that back. This is actually an Absolute Carnage tie-in, but it's not a mini-series tie-in type of thing. So this I'm intrigued by. What's... Yeah, it doesn't... Yeah, once I didn't expect much of a description out of that. It is Nick Spencer and Ryan Ottley, though. Ryan Ottley's back, so that's exciting. Ryan Ottley drawing Carnage intrigues me greatly. Ooh, Avengers number 24, Jason Aaron, Stefano Caselli. I love this fucking title. From beginning to end, I have loved every single issue. I love the fact that Jason Aaron's setting up some amazing Ghost Rider stuff that Ed Brisson's going to have a whole lot of opportunity to really run with when he starts making Ghost Rider relevant in the world of ongoing comics. And that, I won't say a spoiler on this one, just in case you didn't listen to the last podcast. But that final page at the end of that last issue, that cliffhanger, holy shit, am I right? Am I right? You will, maybe you wouldn't know. What is this? Avengers Loki Unleashed. Roger Stern, Ron Lim. Okay, classic Avengers writer Roger Stern returns to Earth's Mightiest Heroes for an all-new adventure set during his time on the series, and with Infinity War's Ron Lim providing the art. The siege of Avengers Mansion is over, and the Avengers are battered and in disarray. Okay, so this isn't going to play any part to anything that has to... Oh, but I do see some Spectrum on there, a.k.a. Captain Marvel. The OG original first female Captain Marvel. I can't remember her actual name. God damn it. I suck at this. But Spectrum is what she goes by now. Fuck, why can't I remember her name? That's driving me nuts. But it just goes to show it's OG Avengers, so for those who want to read Avengers, but for some reason you don't want to read anything that's relevant in the ongoings or whatever, or you're behind, no judgment, but if there is one Marvel title, come on guys, read Avengers, it's amazing. So yeah, we got some mini-series maybe? I don't know. Black Panther number 16. I don't think I need to hype that up a whole lot. I don't read Black Panther, but Ta-Nehisi Coates, killing it from what I understand. More Ta-Nehisi Coates, Captain America number 14. But those books came out in the same week. How did Black Panther get 2 issues ahead? I don't know. Well, Ta-Nehisi Coates is obviously busy. He's writing books that come out on the same week, so he's double booked, I guess. Fearless number 3 of 4. That girl power book, am I right? I read the first issue. It was okay. It just doesn't... I don't see a whole lot of... It's setting up something that's going to mean something later, but I'll figure that out when the time comes. I buy a lot of books. I can't afford $5 books that I'm not super excited about all the time. Ghost Spider number 2. This is a book that I've always been a Gwen fan. I like Gwen in the 616. I like the concept of how they immediately threw her in right off the bat. The idea of like a back and forth scenario. That's probably not going to go that way. She's going to get stuck somewhere. I dig it. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 47. I believe this to be... I do believe this to be the longest running Marvel series at this point in time. So fucking Moon Girl, am I right? This, I don't read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It's not really directed towards me, even though I am very intrigued by the character. But the story, however, is something that I've been waiting for a while, because Moon Girl popped up while the Fantastic Four were out being saviors of the galaxy. And, you know, while Reed was around, he's the smartest. But now, what's her name? Fucking, god damn it. Moon Girl, I guess. Can't remember her name right now. Anyways, she's the smartest. So, at last, Reed Richards finally meets his match. The long-anticipated ultimate battle of the biggest brains in the Marvel U comes to a close. I dig it. I dig it. Are they ending the series? I hope not. I hope not. I like this, despite me not reading it, I dig the fact that book's going the distance. It's been going on since, check this out, pre-Civil War II. So like 2015. That's fucking impressive. Marvel doesn't do that often. There's just not enough people bitching about it. That's a good thing. New Mutants War Children number 1. Listen to this creative team, guys. Chris Claremont, Bill Sienkiewicz. Guys. Alright. Don't miss this momentous event as legendary creators Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz reunite with Magic, Wolfsbane, Cannonball, Cypher, Mirage, Karma, and Sunspot to share this never-before-told story of the New Mutants' past. When Warlock experiences a nightmare, he begins going haywire and is up to his friends to save him. But as Warlock grows more frenzied... Oh, sorry. They should be worrying about being able to save themselves. And doubly so when Magic's inner demon, Darkchild, threatens to break free. Also, special guest appearance by Kitty Pryde. Chris Claremont, Bill Sienkiewicz. I really think that's all I needed to say. But, impressive, right? Yeah, bunch of variants, of course, why wouldn't they? Powers of 10, number 5. Coming to an end. Yeah, I don't need to hype that book at all. It speaks for itself. If you don't know what's going on there, that's your first day in comics, and I'm officially judging you. Just kidding. It's just look at the internet. You'll figure it out. Strike Force, number 1. Alright, this is my favorite thing to come out of the War of the Realms thing. All the Thor stuff, to me, as great as all that was, the Strike Force teams were the best part. And the War Avengers were my favorite group. Unfortunately, Captain Marvel isn't part of that. But it looks like this Strike Force team... What do we got here? Alright, we've got Blade, Angela, Spider-Woman, Wiccan, and the Winter Soldier. Oh, and Monica Rambeau. That's... Okay, Spectrum. And Damian Hellstrom. Alright, fucking A. Joins forces to fight the fights that no other Marvel team could take on. 100% on board with this. And check this out. I can say this with confidence now. Teenie Howard, my favorite female writer in comics. Read everything she's done. And she's writing this too. So... she's starting to become my Tom Taylor. And what I mean by that is every genre that I've seen her write so far has been fun and drawn in and intriguing, and it's been so good. Strike Force. Digging the shit out of it. Superior Spider-Man number 11. I've been a fan of every single one of those issues. Oh, here we go. More Teenie Howard. The grand finale. Thanos, number 6 of 6. Fucking this book has been amazing. I dig the dynamic that she's laying out with the young Gamora, Thanos type of... Yeah. I'm overly hyped about that book. So 2 Teenie Howard books this week. She's killing it, guys. She's fucking crushing it. And the last book I will be talking about of the week that I will be hyping up out of Marvel is going to be a Wolverine Annual. Annual 1. Alright. Jody Hauser, Gerardo Borges. So this is a battle between magic, mystery, and mayhem of Morgan Le Fay. Alright, so it's actually... God damn it. You're fucking... It's Wolverine versus Morgan Le Fay. I don't usually pick up annuals. It's very rare that I do. But, yeah. There's a Wolverine annual for you. So, with all of that being said, those are the books that I'm personally hyped up for, the books that I know a lot of other people are hyped up for, speculators, things like that. Lots of new number ones to be excited about. Ask me what my most anticipated books of the week are. Okay, I'll tell you. My most anticipated DC book of the week is... I don't know. It's a 4-way tie. Oh, there's a gun to my head. Harleen. Harleen is my most anticipated indie book of the week. I've been waiting for Shazam for a while. It's finally here, but Harleen. I'm very interested. And, honestly, I'm not familiar with that writer / artist. It's all done by the same dude. So I'm intrigued to dabble with new creators. My Marvel pick of the week... originally I had New Mutants War Children circled, but that was before I read the really only good description. One of, 3 good descriptions. Strike Force is what I'm trying to say. Strike Force sounds fucking amazing. Yeah. No, it's... Guys, Teenie Howard. My indie pick of the week, however, overshadows everything. And that's going to be Bloodshot. I'm very, very, very excited for Bloodshot. I know this book is supposed to be kind of getting people hyped for a movie that hopefully happens. Has a release date, we'll see. But, yeah, I want to see what Tim Seeley does. Brett Booth. Yeah, good shit. Guys, thank you so much for my ramblings. I know this one went on just a little bit longer, but you could probably sense in my voice. I'm excited. I really am excited about this week's books. And maybe... I don't know. There might be something perky in this day quencher that I've been drinking from Shiner Brock. I don't know. Fact is, that's what there is to talk about. I'm done rambling. But I would like to remind you that this podcast is sponsored by westcoastgeek.com. And I'll be damned when they reached out to me. I can say with all honesty, I clicked on the site and I was blown away by the selection of awesomeness and the variety of awesomeness that they have to offer to the geek culture. They do not discriminate. Very, very comic book derived, though. I would say most of the stuff is very much in the comic book realm. But it's all good stuff. Those action figures, guys, check it out. But here's the deal. When you go there, and there will be a link in the description in case you forget westcoastgeek.com. When you go to check out, use codes Cheers to Comics. It's all one word. And you will save 20% off your entire order. 20% is a load of money these days, guys. It really it racks up. And especially once you see what's all on there, you're going to have a hard time containing yourself. So get excited about all that. I'm very happy to have them as a sponsor, and you can take my word for it. It's not going to be a waste of your time to give that site a click, and there's going to be something you're into. That's for sure. Also, there are other ways to support this podcast. I am going to push out my Patreon, patreon.com/cheers to comics. I'm not asking for much. I say we, like there's more than one of us on this podcast. This is a one-man show entirely at this point in time. But, it's, we've got several tiers to choose from. There's tiers where for $1, if you run into me in a pub and you could prove to me you're a patron, which isn't hard to do as long as you have a phone on you or any piece of technology present, I'll buy you a beer. A single beer in a pub. You point me out, and yeah, just for $1 a month. And it goes towards good things. It does. It improves the quality of the podcast. It allows me it affords me more time to put out more content. And the more content I put out over time, the smoother this content becomes, and the crispier it becomes, and the more attractive it becomes to attract other big interviews. And I say other big interviews because there's been a couple and more to come down the pipeline. Recorded one the other day. You'll know soon. But yeah, no, it's, and there's also tiers. I think I call it Omega level, and at that level, I'll actually be sending you comics through the mail on the monthly. So, yeah, tons of ways to support the podcast. Also, if you ever have any questions or you feel like just fucking trolling me, at Cheers to Comics on Twitter and Instagram, the Cheers to Comics podcast. Facebook, it's facebook.com/Cheers to Comics. So I am on the social medias. I don't need to tell you where to listen to a podcast because you obviously know that. I do have to mention, however, for any of my Podcoin listeners, I'm so sad to say that I've been informed that Podcoin is shutting down. So to the hundreds of subscribers I have on there, just because Podcoin's shutting down doesn't mean you need to stop listening to Cheers to Comics podcast. I'm on Podbean, I'm on Stitcher, I'm on Google Play, I'm on Apple Podcasts. I'm everywhere. Did I say Spotify? I might have. I don't know. So, yes, this is for you Podcoin listeners. Please subscribe anywhere else you can listen to a podcast. I doubt you're just going to completely give up on listening to podcasts entirely just because Podcoin goes out and you can't make that money anymore. But yeah, so that's my PSA. You won't hear many more of those because it's been a podcast. I thank you all for tuning in. Support your LCS, your local comic book store. And y'all fuckers, read responsibly. Cheers.